Welcome to New York.
I guess you already called it. Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan.
No,
of course.
Jason takes a cruise boat.
We'll get into that. I got my notes too, man.
All right, go do your thing.
Yeah. Quick synopsis for the one person that's someone on this video that's never seen Jason Takes Manhattan. It's Jason does not take Manhattan as much as he takes a cruise ship somehow from Camp Crystal Lake into the Atlantic Ocean and somehow makes it to New York for about 8 minutes at the very end.
With half of it being British Columbia, Vancouver.
I mean, it's all, right? I mean, yeah.
They showed one day in Times Square or some shit, you know?
Yes,
that was
like
it.
that much.
You seem like honest folks, so I'm inclined to believe at least some of what you say.
Yeah.
So director Rob Hedden, getting this, he wrote a first draft that had a lot of things that we expected. A chase on the Brooklyn Bridge. You had Jason doing a boxing match against the boxer Julius in Madison Square Garden. Jason ends up on the Statue of Liberty. There's a lot of stuff that got cut because essentially the producers wanted to make this movie and then they realized what it would cost. And I bet it wouldn't cost that much, but they got real cheap, real quick. And eventually they landed on what about the last half of the movie at Manhattan? And then they took away more money. And then it became, what about the last quarter in Manhattan? And so I will say this, I know why people hate it because essentially you're sold a bag of goods. And when you look into it, there's nothing there. It's a bait and switch, and I get it. But that being said, my big argument's always been what I want of a Jason movie is fun kills and to root for the bad guy. And I think putting on a claustrophobic boat was a cool idea. I don't know. I never really, I'm sure you saw this in theaters or at least.
Yeah, I saw that shit in theaters, man. And
so let me guess, you expected Manhattan. Did you mind if would you walk in thinking the whole thing's in Manhattan, right?
Yeah, but it's not, of course I would. I mean, that was the whole shtick. I don't know if you remember.
Trailer.
They had the teaser.
Yeah, he turns around,
Yeah, which was amazing. They even had and they removed the poster. I remember that because people were offended. Even back then, people were offended. Yeah. I Love New York.
It's a great poster.
Yeah, great poster. And yeah, of course, it's Jason on a cruise ship. And it's not a bad idea, Jason on a cruise ship. But it's fucking boring. And the kills are shit. And that's my problem.
Really?
You know, for me, in my useless opinion, obviously.
Yeah, I mean,
name me one good kill that happens in Friday 13 Part 8.
The guitar into the face.
That's a good kill.
Yeah, it smashes it's from the camera's angle. Blood goes everywhere in the little camera. Yeah, you don't like that? The sauna rock I thought was cool. He takes him off.
The sauna rock was cool.
What about the guy that he runs up the mast of the ship and they just toss him? And he like lands on the little spikes. No, I don't know,
man. Maybe you know.
I mean, they're not
remember
bloody
that.
as much.
You know, Friday 13 Part 3. You know, he squeezes the guy's head. The fucking eye pops out. Or the guy doing the handstand, he fucking cuts in two. Or Friday 13 Part 5, you got puts the thing around the guy and twists it and fucking takes out his fucking eyeballs. It was obvious to me that after Part 7 got ass rape with no lube by the MPAA, and that's rude. Put lube.
Or spec.
That Part 8, they're like, we're not even gonna fucking try.
No, I mean you're right though. But you're not guessing. That's 100% correct. They wrote the kills with more blunt force instead of gore because they didn't want to fucking have to go back and cut things. Yeah.
Actually, funnily enough, I don't know if you ever noticed, but at a certain point in the movie, there's a door that closes and they focus on these darts. Nothing ever happens. But initially, the second boxer, the guy that gets killed with a rock, he gets the 2 darts jammed in his eyeballs. And that's how he died. But the MPA thought it was too much. So they did a reshoot and killed him with the rock in the sauna, which I kind of think is kind of more disturbing than the darts in the eyeballs, but that's my opinion, you know. But
I've spent a lot of time in saunas. I mean, can you imagine that heat of that? I mean, his glove like sets on fire. I mean, or either the glove or the stomach. But I mean, yeah, that would be hell. That would be absolute hell.
Anyways, I digress. Go ahead.
I love his look. I absolutely love his look. Though I think his look makes more sense if he looked like this in Part 7 and Part 7 and Part 8, because essentially in this one he's bloated, rotted white flesh. He's covered in ooze. His mask looks like it's been underwater in terms of like the discoloration. But I like his look. I think this is probably my favorite mask. Honestly, I love the look of this, even if it doesn't make sense because he gets it from the kids at the beginning. It's a new mask, but it still has the axe mark from Part 3. But whatever, who cares? It's a basic way to keep the mask going without them. Because in Part 7, it breaks apart. To me, this was a continuation of the Jason from 7, that mean badass. I mean, Jason's or Kane Hodder's Jason. And to me, is exactly what I wanted. Everything he did, the sauna rock, tossing that guy against the electrical board, just a lot of shit like that. I do agree they're a lot less bloodless, but I mean, I know that because this was written, like you said, this was made in a way so they didn't have to go back and cut it 4 times. But there's a part where he takes, I forget the girl's name, she's like trying to seduce the
professor.
Yeah, and Professor, I got his name down.
Yeah, her name's, I got my notes. Yeah. His name is Peter Mark Richmond, and her name is Charlene Martin.
Charles, man, that voice. Jason's gonna get you, yeah. Part where Jason takes her face and smashes it in the mirror.
Yeah.
And he searches for like the right piece of mirror to stab her with. And I was like,
off camera, yeah.
But then it cuts back to her and all the shards in her face. But I'm okay with that because to me, hotter sells the movie, and I think the location jump is good. But I've had a lot of Jason Crystal Lake. I actually want him other places. I put him back in New York or bring him to Chicago and fix my mess. Or let's go to the Keys. I don't know. Like I want Jason somewhere else because it's like anytime you drop him somewhere else, it's like he gets to play with new tools and environments. And I know nobody likes that, and people are like, oh, keep in the fucking woods. But I'm like, I got the woods. I got the woods enough. So I think my big thing is I just got to see him doing different stuff in different places. And the boat was claustrophobic. There's a part where, I mean, the stunt woman must have been biggest badass in the world, where he takes the one with the dark hair and he choke slams her onto the ground. It's like it's one take, so there's no padding. It's just,
during the dance floor.
Yeah, and it's spinning
and he
around.
Teleports everywhere. Boop, boop, boop.
Which I should also say, I don't mind him teleporting. I know people hate that. I don't give a shit. Because he's already a zombie. He's already undead. He can't be stopped. Give him some superpowers. I don't fucking care. Good. I don't care.
You know what? I'm not a fan of
no, most people aren't. Most people aren't. I know that I'm alone. They made it canon in the Jason Voorhees Friday the 13th game that came out for PC, Xbox, Switch.
Yeah.
So you teleport it. So all I'm saying is like, it's canon now, baby.
You can never die.
I get it. I get why people don't like it, even though I would argue, besides the kills being more bloodless and more, blunt force drama, I don't mind it. I think it's fun. I think Kane knocks it out. The ending sucks. The ending sucks. A bag of dicks for sure, but...
Just a bag. Come on.
Everyone!
I think the first time where you started to get Elm Street-ish elements in the franchise.
Interesting.
Which you started to see more as in part 9, and that's pretty much actually fucking it. Because part 10 was in space, where she has visions of a kid in the little window, and all that stuff.
The porthole.
Very Elm Street-ish. And then at the end, he gets hit by toxic waste.
Becomes a Muppet.
Becomes like a kid again, and actually had the worst Jason look.
Yes, it looked like a
Muppet.
Muppet.
Gets unmasked.
Kermit the Frog.
Yeah, that's it.
So, okay, let me ask you this, John. Have you watched it recently? Are you harboring old feelings, or do you know for sure that like this still sucks? Because maybe it's one of those.
It still sucks. The whole first hour in the boat, the pacing is so slow, man, and the build up to the kills is so long. Look, I know Jason's gonna get this person I don't give 2 fucks about. Let's just get to it. Yeah. And then when you get to it, no payoff. It's fucking dry as fuck. There's some couple of highlights, Give me a second. The scene in Times Square when he kicks the punks' radios. That whole scene with the junkies and I thought that was weird. These 2 Vancouver actors that take our heroin hostage and then inject her with heroin.
They give her good stuff.
No pun intended. And then, the professor gets killed by, get this. He gets drowned in a fucking bucket.
Yeah, that's a lame kill. But
so lame.
Can we give credit that like they get her all smacked up and then immediately she's the one that starts to drive the car and crashes right in the fucking building?
She's fine, man. She's fine, man. Jason will do that to you, man. You see him coming, boom, I'm sober. I always like the scene on the rooftop with Julius having a boxing match.
The best skill. That's the best skill. I forgot all about that. Yeah.
But this always bothered me. He keeps jabbing at the face. He's wearing a fucking hockey mask. That shit stops pucks coming at you 200 miles an hour. Hit the body. He does hit the body at a certain point. No, just hit the body the whole time to get him. But he's hitting the face on like bare knuckle on a thing that stops pucks. And I'm like, why, bro? He deserved to lose.
Take your best shot. Motherfucker.
They all deserve to lose, though. I'm not rooting for anybody in this movie. You know,
you know what? I always felt bad for Julius because Jason was right at the edge, man. He was ready to fall. Although he would have teleported back up, but
as he
should
should have.
know that shit, you know. But yeah, no, it's one of for me one of the lesser entries. Probably my least favorite of them all.
Wow. Well, okay, right. Fair enough. I disagree, but I understand because I know people don't like it. But shit.
But Kane rocks in it.
Oh yeah. I mean, this is the last one you really got to see him play around in, because as we go into our next entry, he's not in it.
Oh,
you know?
Yeah.
Well, this.
Welcome to the end screen. Because we have our most popular videos up here, our latest videos over here, our modern reviews up here, and of course, the subscribe button right here, guys. Every little bit counts, and we do appreciate the support.